This video covers everything we did today on September 27th in 8th grade math honors. The first activity we did was 14.1 healthcare spending. You'll notice that in question 2, it asks you about a box plot. This box plot was projected on the board during class, and it's not in your document. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the box plot here so that you have it to reference. Once I draw out the box plot, you can go ahead and pause this video and give 14.1 a try. Once you've tried 14.1, you can come back to this video and we'll talk through it together. So there's your box plot. Make sure you've paused the video and you're trying 14.1. Okay, so if you're watching now, you should have at least read through and thought through 14.1 on your own. We only talked about outliers briefly, but this question actually explains exactly what they are. So, one value in this set is an outlier. Which one is it, and what's its approximate value? Well, just by the conversational meaning of the word outlier, we can see that we have this value right here between 9 and 10. And remember that this is the per capita spending for thousands of dollars, so it would really be 9 to 10 thousands of dollars per person. That is very far away from the rest of the data. That's our outlier. But in question 2, they're asking us to more thoroughly investigate whether or not this is an outlier and why. So it says, one rule for deciding whether something is an outlier is if it is more than 1.5 times the IQR greater than Q3. So let's break that down. We can see that the IQR is about 3. Now, we need to figure out what 1.5 times the IQR is. So if the IQR is 3, 1.5 times 3 gives us 4.5. Now the question is this outlier, which we can see is 10 based on the box plot, more than 1.5 times the IQR greater, so 4.5 greater than Q3. Well, Q3 is right here. And let's see. Is Q3 4.5 away from the outlier, which is also the maximum? Well, we know that the difference between 5 and 10 is 5, and that difference 5 is greater than 4.5, which proves, yes, it is an outlier. So to summarize, we can define outliers as observations or data points which are 1.5 times the IQR greater than Q3. Let's explore this further in activity 2. So, here's the data set that we used to create the histogram and the box plot from the warm-up. I simplify the data set by turning it into whole numbers instead of having y'all look at decimals. Your first thing to do is to find the mean and the 5-number summary. Go ahead and pause this video to find the mean and the 5-number summary now. Okay, so if you're watching this video, you should have found the mean and the 5-number summary of this data set. Remember, to calculate the mean, you simply add up all the numbers and divide by how many numbers there are. And to calculate the 5-number summary, you need the minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and maximum. So if we add up all the numbers to get the mean, we end up with 138 divided by 34, which gives us a mean of 4.05. Now, to find the 5-number summary, we know that the minimum is 1. We know Q1 is 2. We know that the median is 3.5. Q3 is 5. and the maximum is 20. If you're stuck on where I got these numbers, the median, Q1, and Q3, remember that all we need to do to find the median is list the numbers from least to greatest and find the middle number. In this case, the middle number is 3 and 4, and 3.5 is halfway between 3 and 4. Q1 is the median of the lower half of my data set. So all of these numbers that I highlighted in yellow, and that median number is 2. So that's Q1. Q3 is the median of the upper half of my data set. So all the numbers highlighted in green, and that median number is 5. So now I have my 5-number summary. Question 2 says, the maximum value in this data set represents the spending for the United States. Should the per capita spending for the United States be considered an outlier? Explain your reasoning. So remember, outliers are 1.5 times the IQR greater or less than Q1 and Q3. So in this case, the IQR is 1.5. And if we think about 1.5 of the IQR, so what is 1.5 of the IQR, or 1.5 times the IQR? We know that it is equal to 2.25. Now, 20, which is the United States' value, the maximum value in this data set, is very clearly more than 2.5 greater than Q3. Remember, a number is an outlier if it is the IQR times 1.5 greater than Q3. So the United States value is an outlier. Question 3 says, although outliers should not be removed without considering their cause, it's important to see how influential outliers can be for various statistics. Remove the value for the United States from the United States for the data set. So, in question 3, you need to find the new 5-number summary. So a new min, Q1, median, Q3, and maximum, the exact same way you did it before, except this time, you are taking out the number 20. So you're deleting 20 from your data set. Then, in question B, you'll compare your 5-number summary to what you got in question 2. So, this is the end of my instruction. I want you to finish activity 14.2. If you were absent from class, you can stop at 14.2. When you're done, what I need you to do next is check today's folder, because there is a list of assignments that have been graded, and I would like you to spend the rest of your time looking at which assignments have been graded and making sure that you've completed all of those. So again, I want you to look at today's folder. There is a link called Graded Work, and I want you to get caught up on any graded assignments that you have not done. If you have questions about any of this, today's lesson, the old graded assignments, please send me an email and we can always set up a time to meet over Zoom.